Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin and it's Saturday, so it is time for my weekly roundup. Yeah, so what is my weekly roundup? It's basically where we go through my week generally in crafting, and sometimes I add little extra tidbits. So we look at any whips, works in progress, or FOs, finished objects. This week, I have a whopping 5 finished objects. I feel very productive. And then I have I think I have 3 whips I'm going to show. I'm not going to show a couple of whips because I have begun my project for the July Between Friends collaboration with Grammy Colleen from Grammy Colleen Crochets. And I also am not showing anything that's for like Fridays with Fred or Things We're Making Thursday. Those are on their specific days. I'm also going to do my stitch marker of the day from Ellie Leva at Ellie Leva's Crafts and More. Be sure to check her out. She is so talented and amazing. I love her. Also, a little update on my book to keep myself honest and on track. Let's do this. Okay, so first thing, I did another hat in my LYS hat challenge. They're doing 23 hats in 2023, and you could earn a hank of Madeline Tosh yarn from them. So I was like, that sounds like a really good goal. And I like having goals. Like, the yarn is awesome, but just having something to work towards is motivational. I love it. So this is the Country Cottage Beanie, and I believe it's the name of the channel is Turtle Trunk Crochet, but it could be Turtle Trunk Crafts. I'm blanking right now, but this hat will be linked down below. It's a very lovely textured stitch. The texture is a little lost because I used such a variegated yarn, but I still think it's very lovely. This yarn is Malabrigo Rios in the colorway 850 Archangel, and I think it's so pretty. I'm debating on a palm. I wasn't in love with any of the palm colors I have in my stash, and I don't want to go out buying tons of palms, so I don't know. We'll see. There might end up being a palm, there might not. I don't know. Maybe I'll just sew a button in case I find a palm I like, but then maybe I won't use the button palm. Maybe I'll have the one that has the clippy, so I probably won't. I'll just leave it. I can always add a palm later, but yes, I love this. I love this. I think it's very cute. I would like to make it again in a not so variegated color to have a more solid color. I think that would be nice. The other thing I did, oh no, nope, I counted correctly. Okay, so I had a little bit more yarn left over from that cake that I made the divine hat out of, the Cumulus degrade, I don't know how you say it, but it was beautiful. I had a little bit of the end of the cake left, so I made a scrunchie with it. This is just some double crochets, and then I made little chains to maybe make it look a little flowery. I don't know. I think it's cute. And then I also did this because I have a lot of this like ruffly yarn in my stash, and I've been playing with making scrunchies out of it, and I think it works pretty well, except I pulled this one out, and for some reason it's not as wide as the other yarns. This was a mystery, so I don't know what type of ruffle yarn it is, but I know I have a bunch of the Red Heart sachet, and this is not as wide as the sachet. So I think the sachet works on its own, but I was playing with this in doing a row of just single crochets around it and then working the next row with the frilly yarn, and I think it turned out really cute. That's how the reverse side looks, so I don't think it's too bad looking, and plus it's just gonna be wrapped up in your hair, so I think it'll be just fine. Bingo is in love with this and keeps trying to make off with it, so I've promised this to Bingo, but I think I am gonna go ahead and do a tutorial on how I made this, because I know a lot of us have this ruffle yarn and it doesn't take much. So if you've used the ruffle yarn to trim something and you've got some yards left and you don't want to throw it away, maybe you can make a scrunchie. You never know. And then if I do dig out some more of the thicker sachet or something, I will do a tutorial on just using the sachet yarn itself and not doing this first. You know what I mean? But there you go. So I did that scrunchie as well. And then, oops, I want to put this with my hat so I can take it to the LYS. I have a really funny story. So I was looking at my stash, and I don't have a ton of cotton, but I've got like a weird amount of strange kitchen cotton. And I don't have enough, it's not cohesive enough to do like one project with, like the hexagon beach bag. That wouldn't have worked in what I have. But I did want to practice my Tunisian crochet. So I was literally finishing up this washcloth because I was inspired by Heather from Strings and Threads, her Scrubby Sunday, where she started making washcloths to practice her knitting. I was like, well, I've got all this cotton. Let's make some washcloths and I'll practice my Tunisian crochet. And I was finishing up this washcloth when she posted her video about the organization, was it Project Starfish? I think it was Project Starfish that contacted her looking for scrubbies and washcloths. So I shared her video to my Facebook page and to the community page. So either go to her channel and look at the video or check either of those places and you'll see the information. It's a great opportunity for anybody who wants to do some donation. But like, I'm literally working on a washcloth right now and it's in Americana colors. And apparently this group is going to, works with veterans. It's like perfect to donate. And I mean, it's a practice and a technique I'm not super good at, but I think it's a very serviceable, nice washcloth. I've followed a bee hooked crochet. I think that's how she changed her channel. She used to have just one channel with both knit and crochet, and then she bifurcated. So she has her knit on one channel and her crochet on the other. So this is bee hooked crochet, and it's a Tunisian washcloth. Like a year ago, she has a washcloth series. It's like washcloths 1 through 4 or something. This was the first washcloth that uses kind of a cross stitch there in Tunisian crochet. And I just wanted to try to see, you know, get some practice in doing Tunisian crochet. And here it is. So this is how it's technically supposed to go. It is a little curly on itself, and that's, I think, Tunisian is like a hybrid between knit and crochet. When you do stockinette in knit, where it's all knit stitch on one side and purl on the other, it wants to curl in on the knit side. So I think that's what's happening. And like at the end of the video, she tells you briefly how to block it to stop that from happening. I refuse to block washcloths. You would have to block them every time you use it. And you're just going to use it. So I don't think it matters if it's slightly biased. And I don't even think I got that much of the bias on it. I'm pretty proud of this one. So here you go. Check out Heather's video if you're interested in donating some scrubbies and washcloths. I believe they're only looking for body cloths, so I don't think they're looking for any of the like kitchen pot scrubbies, but maybe I should ask Heather and ask for clarification on that. But yeah, it's a good opportunity, and this will be going on its way. And I have, this took about half of my cotton, you know, they're the little mini cotton things. And I have 2 more of the Americana, so I'm going to work through that to see how many I get, and then maybe I'll do some of the other cotton I have laying around in my practice and send them off. I don't know, but it's going to be sent off, so yay. The final thing I have done, and the piece de resistance of last week, is I've been calling it the Pink Lady Shawl. It is the lady in pink shawl. But of course, I've done it in black and white grayscale. This is my OM Granny Square project, and this will be one of the prizes for the Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight. So she's done. I did it. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. So I think I would have had enough of the cookies and cream left over to do the border in cookies and cream. But I had the idea of the solid white border in my head, so I just went with that vision. And as I was doing it, I was second guessing the whole time, but now that it's done, I quite like it. So the yarn I used for the main body is Cookies and Cream. It's a Lion brand Big Scoop, which is basically just a big giant version of the Lion brand ice cream yarn. And the border is, I'm like talking really fast and out of breath, I'm sorry. The border is Big Twist Shine. So here we go. It's got the lovely granny stitch, and this border is perfection. I love it. And let me say, I adore the instructions in the tutorial where she gets to the corner with the border and she's like, just make it work. Fudge it. You're not going to have the right amount of stitches to get around the corner. Just make it look nice and make it match, and no one is going to be counting your stitches. I absolutely agree. No one is going to be counting here to say, oh, do you have the right number of stitches? No, they're going to be cozy in their shawl, and all they care about is, does it look nice? And this looks wonderful. So one of my questions was, is the stark white too stark against the backdrop? Because this white doesn't go to pure white. It goes to like a winter white. But I think it looks really good. And I think it nicely frames the shawl, and I really like it. So I did not go to the end of my skein. I stopped because it reached my wingspan, and then I went 2 more rows. So I reached my wingspan, did 2 more rows, and then did the border. How could I not come up with the word border? I think I am showing you the wrong side. Am I? Nope, I'm showing you the right side. So it only has a right side, wrong side because of the border. If you don't mind which side of the border's showing, then the whole shawl would be reversible because you turned your work in the main body. So the main body of the shawl does not have a side. But I am very proud of this. So yes, you have about another week to get your OM Granny Squares entries into me, and somebody will win this shawl as a prize. And I have got to say, oops, come on, lady. There we go. Oh, we had a while ago, I had asked for ideas because this mannequin has always been Betty. Brian got me Betty from an estate sale. Paid 20 bucks for Betty. She was a steal. I never named, that was a black mannequin. But I got her from a bridal shop that was going out of business. So you can kind of see she's a little bit tonal because she was in the window with dresses on her. So the top part faded. And I don't care. I just wanted something to throw things on as I was sewing them to see the form. And so she was never named though. By far the 2 leaders were Veronica and Gloria. For a minute I almost said Heidi. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go with Gloria. And it took me longer than I care to admit to figure out why people were suggesting Betty and Gloria. So in honor of our little burgeoning feminist bingo, this will be Gloria. So we have Betty and Gloria now. Yay! Gloria looks like she might be a little tippy. Or my camera could be at an angle. I don't know. We don't question the mannequin's life choices. It also could be that I've got the shawl on a little wonky. Who knows? So, I now have 3 works in progress to show you. So, I did more work. I've got my 2 knit projects on top and then the crochet one below it. So, we'll just do knit, knit, crochet. I normally try to vary it, but I continue to work on Chomps' strawberry sock. Here it is. That's a piece of my own hair. You will have a piece of me forever. So I'm working on the foot of his sock. I have roughly 1.5 inches to go. So not bad at all. I have a strong feeling that this sock will be done next week. I hope so. So this, I'm using the Premier Fruits sock yarn in strawberry for it. And the pattern I am using is the kids knit sock pattern from Premier. If you look at this yarn on Premier.com, 2 patterns come up. It is the kids knit sock version and the kids knit socks, and an adult version of this pattern. The pattern is so incredibly close to the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern. If you're familiar with that, you're golden with this pattern. The pattern does ask for DPNs. I used my 9-inch circs. Here I am using my ChowGoo. This is not ChowGoo. No, these are Clover Takumi bamboo circular needles to give them a try. I very much like them. I think they're very, very nice. The tips on them, these part, is smaller than the ChowGoos I have. So once I got used to that, it was totally fine. I was worried it would feel too much like I was knitting with toothpicks, and it really doesn't. It's really comfortable, and I kind of like the shortness because these socks are a little smaller than maybe what should be on 9-inch circs, and it really helps me just, you know, work into it. I was able to do the heel flap and gusset on the needles without taking them off the needles, which was very nice. I don't like all the on and off the needle business. Just let me work through it. Let me do it. But yeah, so I did start this on DPNs, but the yarn is so soft and slick that my DPNs were just falling out of it because I have stainless steel ChowGoo DPNs for the socks, and that just didn't work. So I do think the wood is good because it's a little grabbier on the yarn and it's not falling out as easily. But I also didn't want to go and just go buy more DPNs. DPN is double pointed needle. We're going to move on to my other knit project, which is my hat. This is the Bristlecone hat, and this is from, it's like something tiger, Fancy Tiger Crafts. It's a free pattern on their website. It comes in newborn all the way to large adult, so there are like 5 or 6. There are 6 different hat sizes here, which is fantastic. I am still working through the 6 inches of 1x1 rib. I'm getting there. I'm almost done. This, I am using my ChowGoo interchangeable needle set that Brian got me for Christmas. It is working wonderfully. And the yarn I am using is Wonderland Yarns Silk Twist. The colorway is Glowworm. It is this beautiful teal aqua tonal with it's got like a white stripe going through it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's so soft. I want to get every single colorway, but it's a little pricey, so it's not going to happen all at once. But that's okay. We have to have goals. It gives me something to look forward to. I can ogle it and, like, you know, run my fingers over it every time I'm at the LYS. The final project I have in my whips category for today is my Cozy Cardi. This is a pattern from Secret Yarnery. And on this one, I am using my Furls Pride glitter hook. Where is it? In the box. There it is. Yay! Furls, if you didn't know, just came out with they're having their birthday celebration, and they have a teal glitter hook, which is gorgeous, and they had a 30% off sale, and I loaded my cart up, but I was a good girl and I did not make the purchase. But the hook looks beautiful, and those birthday hooks are always a limited time. Where is my end? There it is. Okay. And so here we go. I thought I was done with this. It is so close to being done. I pinned it together, tried it on, and I just wanted it a little roomier. So here we go. I'm in the middle of I'm going to add 4 rows. So I'll finish this row and then add 3 more, and then I'm going to pin it together and try it on again. But I feel like that's going to be done. But look at how fun that is. So you basically are making a giant granny square, and then we're going to sew it together into a shrug. And this is like wild colors. This is way brighter than I would normally wear. But this has been in my stash for a while, and I wanted to make a hexagon cardigan out of it. But I also have another bright yarn too, and they were both screaming hexy cardigan to me, but I didn't want to have 2 bright neon hexy cardigans. So when I saw Krista come out with this pattern, I was like, boom, problem solved. So what I'm using here is Super Saver bright stripes, very bright stripes. This is, I just had to tie on. So I stopped and pinned it because I didn't think it was good enough, but I also had just finished my first skein of this. So I was like, well, when I first estimated, I thought I was going to have to use 1.5 of these. But I was like, well, am I going to get away with just 1? And I probably could have gotten away with just 1, but it was just not quite as roomy and cozy as I wanted it. So I'm going to add the extra rows, and since I have the yarn, use the yarn. The black I'm using is just Walmart Mainstays black acrylic, and it's working out very nicely. I really, really like it. So my plan is to continue the striping and use the black for the cuffs, and then I believe we're going to add a little, do you call it trim or lapel? I'm going to add something to the center of the cardigan to pull it all together. My plan is to do that all in black. And I'm going to then have a little Halloween shrug, and I'm so excited. And of course I tried it on, and Bingo was like, for me? I was like, woman, this is like the size of a blanket for your bed right now. I'm not making this for you, but I will likely have enough left over where I can make one for her as well. So that will be very cute, I think. Okay, so what else do I have? We need to talk about my stitch marker of the day from Ellie Leva. So this is the pattern for day 3, not the pattern, the package. Very cute. I love this sticker. Hibiscus are so pretty, aren't they? And let's see what the stitch marker has in store for us. You know it's going to be cute. They all are. Oh, that's adorable, Ellie. It is a seahorse. It's a seahorse. So the kids quite like the Octonauts and the original Octonauts. So they now have an above and beyond Octonauts where they've left the sea and are doing adventures on land as well. But in the original Octonauts, they have a seahorse episode, and there's an interchange between, in the beginning of the episode, between Quasi, Peso, and some seahorses and Captain Barnacles. And seahorses are doing a dance of love. And they kind of like, the Octonauts come up to them and they're chatting. They're like, oh, okay. And then they kind of linger. And Quasi looks like Captain Barnacles and is like, should we move on, Captain? The little adult things in children's shows just give me joy. But I mean, it's smart because then the adults aren't going to mind having the show on in the background. So here's what we have so far. Very cute, very pretty. I love them. So book. I have read 4 chapters of my book. I am reading The Wise Man's Fear. This is book 2 in the King Killer Chronicles from Patrick Rothfuss. The first book is The Name of the Wind. It is a good book. If you don't like sword and sorcery fantasy, I don't think this is going to be the genre for you. This isn't going to be the book for you. If you are annoyed by incomplete series or trilogies, this might not be the book for you right now, but come back when he finishes the 3rd. I still have faith that there is going to be the 3rd. Maybe my tune would have been different when I read this at publication, but I read the Song of Ice and Fire. I did not start that at initial publication. I didn't get into it until about 2001. But I read all of them. So by the end of as I was coming to the end, I was picking up the books as they were published. So I am in that boat with George R.R. Martin. But I feel the same way about this book as I do with those. I've enjoyed the books that I've read. If I see any more works, I will read them. If not, I move on and read other things. It's not something I'm going to get worked up over. I do feel for the authors and some of the comments that come out about Martin and Rothfuss. I understand being passionate. You don't have to attack them, though. I mean, they're still people. But yeah, that's about that. I really like this book. I know I recommended it, and Ray from Ray's Yarn Addiction picked them up, and she devoured them, and she liked them as well. And I am so glad, because, you know, when you recommend books or say you really like it, and then someone else reads it, you're always like, oh, am I just weird? Am I wrong? What's going on? But yes, so I know Ray also enjoyed them. So there's two. I think that brings me to the end of today. I did not write in my calendar for next week, but there's going to be things, I think. Actually, I'm going to check my calendar real quick. Okay, that's tomorrow. Last Sunday, I put a video of some newish Joann's yarn that I had purchased. At the very end, there's a giveaway slid in there. I draw for that tomorrow, so you have a bit more time to hop in on that giveaway if you want to win a couple of skeins of the new Big Twist. And I threw in some of the newer Michael's yarns because I had made a haul and I planned on showing it, and then I put it away, but I set aside some to give away. And I was like, what did you do? So I just threw it in with the Joann's yarn. So go check out that video if you are interested in perhaps procuring some yarn. Okay, and I also have a bunch of giveaways that are backed up. I understand they have been packed, but they have not yet been dropped off at the post office, and I can only say I am sorry, and I will get them there as soon as possible. Life gets in the way, and I apologize. I do apologize. But yeah, so you also have until the 30th for the OM Granny Squares Krafting Kitty Creator Spotlight. Get me any of your things. And I really wanted to do the Count My Blessings shawl. And seeing all of the glorious Count My Blessings shawls that you guys are sending me has put me over the edge. I have printed out the pattern. It is ready to go. And then I've got all those beautiful cotton cakes that I got from Hirschner's. One of those cotton cakes is going to become the Count My Blessings shawl. That's all I can say. And when I start on that, I don't know. So what I've done is I put that Sally wrap on hold because of the Cozy Cardigan, and I really needed to make sure I got that shawl done in time for end of the month. So I'm going to try to push through to the end of the Cozy Cardigan, and then I will put the bod. The Sally wrap is actually the latte cake. I think it's called Easy Crochet Shawl from BagODay. So I'm going to get that back on the hooks and finish that, because that shouldn't take too long either. I just let myself get distracted by shiny things, and now I need to come back and finish it. We got to finish what we start, because we got so many beautiful things to create. Let's make them. And then I have to... What else do I have to do? Oh, I have to finish the item I'm making for Colleen, but that's in the living room. So that's not really going to interfere with the Cozy Cardigan or the bod wrap. Those are basement projects. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop blabbering and let you go. Bye-bye.